Nothing. I need to take that off. That was like specifically for when I was like making teas and shit. I did drink water today. I was good. I drank water today. I just don't have any right now.
Emotional damage.
I was a good girl today. Exactly. I was good. I was very, very good. I had water. I looked at the soda and I looked at the juice and I got water. I was very, very good. Okay, what's your name? Bliss.
どんどこどこどこどんどこどこどこどんどこどこどこどんどこどこどこ満月様満月部偉大なりもういい月見は黙って月見りゃいいんだよどんどこどこどこどんどこどこどこどんどこどこどこどんどこどこどこ満月様満月部偉大なり
They're all so long.
うさぎ跳び10回やりますどんどこどこどこどんどこどこどこどんどこどこどこどんどこどこどこ満月様満月部偉大なり
And they're out of sync. I hate it here. Gonna have to fix it. You shouldn't even be able to redeem all three. That's crazy. Cool, Wizzy. Okay, so. Hair. I guess go with the green. Listen, they snooze, they fucking lose. Clothes. Let's see. Kind of like the sweater. What's up? What's up? What's up? You didn't add a cooldown for them. I swear I did. I swear I did. That's why I was like, you shouldn't be able to do. What the fuck? Especially that one. Oh my god. I have regrets. I have regrets. It's crazy. Don't use it for evil. The fuck. Cool wiziness. Cool wiziness. Okay. What do I do when I'm done? Okay. You dragged your feet up the stairs and down the halls of your apartment building. It was a long day at the Space Cafe, making drinks and politely listening to the same regulars making the same small talk. Currently contemplating evil schemes is so crazy. Weather has been weird lately. Can you believe it's a new year already? It's so busy here today, huh? You reached the hallway to your apartment. No matter. You were off work now and had a few days off too, which is rare. You're free to spend a few days lazing about, reading your favorite magazine and doing some sketching. Do people read magazines anymore? Like, genuinely? You fiddled your keys in the door, trying to coax the cheap lock to cooperate. Like, I don't remember the last time I looked at a magazine. I mean, I know people use magazines for, like, their junk journals and stuff like that, but other than that, like, no one's actually reading. Yeah, it's cute, isn't it? Another complaint for the landlord. Just then, muffled yelling made its way out into the hallway. You could only sigh. You always do this. Oh, sure, it's always my fault. My parents are coming all the way from the Pleiades? Question mark? I told you weeks ago. Whatever, I'm sick of this. I'm leaving. The door across from you jerked open and a short Martian Martian stomped out, slamming the door behind him and marching away down the hall. Me changing subjects every second. As she finally got your door unlocked, you could hear muffled sobbing. You winced sympathetically. Not even aliens could avoid the many pitfalls of relationship drama. Oh, there's aliens in this game? I'm so confused. You shook your head. You were going to be different. Someday soon you would find real love, and you'd have your happily ever after. It's literally called Vampires in Your Area, so the Martians... tentacles is crazy. The Martian kind of threw me off. You feel me? Nothing was gonna stop you. Thud. You fell into your apartment and onto your face. That's embarrassing. Huh? You looked back to find a small box right outside your door. And you just didn't see it? You must have been so preoccupied that you missed it. Not even bothering to get up, you dragged the box over. I'm certain I wasn't expecting the delivery. Violet Heights, Apartment 8, Constellation City, 15FQ, Ellis, Claire. Sure enough, the tag on the box had your neighbor's name on it. Damn, she tricked us. You groaned and got up. This was the second time this week that you had received someone else's mail. You were starting to seriously suspect that the delivery man just wanted to mess with you. With some effort, you picked up the box and carried it over to your neighbor. You knocked on the door. No response. Ellis, the man who lived there, was always on the go, so no surprise he wasn't home. You gently placed the box down in front of the door. You should probably leave him a note. You grab a sticky note and pen from your apartment and scribble down a note. This was in front of my door at Bliss. Please check that your delivery address is correct. Well, his delivery address was correct. It was the mailman's fault, so this was in front of my door. Hopefully you hadn't damaged it when you fell over it. Your efforts were wasted, though, as the door pulled open, revealing not your neighbor. Well then. Can I help you? Your usual neighbor was a middle-aged man with black hair and warm brown eyes. Why are you like this? Why are you like this? The fact that you have enough to redeem. The complete opposite of the man before you right now. This man had pale blue hair and was considerably taller. He also wasn't wearing a shirt, but you tried your best not to focus on that. No, we should focus on that. Who are you? He raised an eyebrow at that. Shouldn't I be asking that? So you're gonna tell me what you want, or... Oh, right. God, this is awkward. I got Alice's mail by mistake. The man bent down to pick up the box, pausing to regard the sticky note. Bliss, huh? He smirked at you. How neighborly of you. I'll give this to Alice when he gets back. Bite slip. He's be looking yummy. Before you could get a chance to reply, he stepped back inside and closed the door. You were left standing in the hallway, confused. That was so rude. After another moment, you returned to your own apartment. You grabbed a drink from the fridge and some leftovers before finally reaching your bedroom. Hint, click on something. Click on the PC when you're done looking around. Click, click, click. Read a book. Yoga. Fold laundry. Something about putting away and folding your laundry, reading a book, and taking up yoga. One of these days I'll get to these things. That's so me. What's this? Sketchbook. Oh, look it. Wait, your sketchbook. Once you had dreamed of becoming an artist for Rogue magazine, but turns out the starving artist stereotype exists for a reason. Right? Your cow plush. This plushie is very sentimental. Your last boyfriend had been disappointing in many ways. Mostly, he kept ditching you during dates. Work, he said. Work turned out to be that harpy he was always with. Whatever, she could have him. You decided to buy yourself an emotional support cow instead. That's so valid. Cow mentioned. Benjamin the cow was way more comforting to have around. What's this? Rogue. Shocking. New information leaked about Mars Beauty recall. Page 1 and find out what Cassandra Perret says about dating on the catwalk. Page 2. Sneakily Gorgon shares the secret to rock-hard abs that last a lifetime. I mean, I'm pretty sure being a Gorgon helps with that, but okay, cool. Find your ideal love inside quiz. It always has the hottest gossip and advice. Right, like, okay. One time, the horoscope even predicted the end of a relationship for you. The best thing about it is its quizzes, though. Your coworkers at the cafe always laugh at you for doing the quizzes in your breaks, but they're wrong. You won't be discouraged so easily. Okay, love quiz. Your ideal type is vampire. Leave the boring logic to others, throw caution to the wind, and chase that love. Okay, wait. Let's do this ourselves. Do you breathe oxygen? Yes. Do you have a heartbeat? Yes. Do you enjoy games? Yes. Do you believe in true love? Maybe? What the fuck? That's such a, like... Okay. Like, what do you mean? That's so basic. Who doesn't breathe oxygen? Well, there are monsters. I didn't mean to do that. Return. There are, like, Martians and cat people and Gorgons, so... Fair enough, I guess. But basically, if you're human, your type is vampire. So... Yes, think of the environment. But if you don't believe in true love, your type is Stardrop. Ease up a little and smell the roses. A passionate love that will sweep you off your feet is waiting for you. The fuck is a Stardrop? It's closer than you think. If Rogue Magazine says a vampire is your ideal match, then a vampire is your ideal match. I mean, CD. If only you'd written down what you had burned onto this. Man, I remember burning shit on CDs. It probably has some weird folk grunge from that brief phase you went through. Backpack? Shoes? Cactus? The lead singer of Zup. Oh, wait. She's so cool. Pretty successful in a happy relationship, unlike you. Damn. The unlike you was kind of unnecessary, but okay. Drink? Soda. Everyone agrees citrus starburst is the best soda flavor, followed closely by bubble blue potion. Interesting. Shoes? Calendar? Computer. I'm gonna find out. Right? Eternal Youth Now in a Bottle. Blemish Cream by Elvina Faye. Fire Nova News. Sneaks on airship cause a stir. Clarissa Cat calls for boycott of Sunbeam Ray shampoo after devastating hair loss. Damn. Fatal trusted. Constellation City prepares for Saturn Festival. What is Kerbalife and how can it help you? Disastrous night downtown after meteor shower causes building collapse. Damn. Chairman of Mars Beauty apologizes for warm red pigment that causes users to sprout antennae. Daily horoscopes. Nondescript game. Totally legit. Redacted. That's funny. Single vampires in your area. Well, obviously we're gonna join. That's sort of suspicious. But this might be a sign from the universe. Exactly! And who are we to ignore the universe? What's your name? It be Bliss. Welcome to Vamp Chat. You've been matched with Blood Cake. Embassy Otherworld. Hey. Hey. You a guy? No, I'm not. Sorry. No problem. Good luck on here. You too. I like how this says antivirus. It's most certainly a virus. Bloody Cupcake has left the chat. Finding matches in your area. You've matched with Bennett XD. Hey. So, you down for some fun? I'll get you date a girl. Oh, woman. Oh, come on, send me your address. I'll make it worth it. That's crazy. Leave the chat. Oh my god, it's just like real life. Holy shit. He's been matched with Demnox. Based on what couples, right? That's what I'm saying. You glanced out your window. It was dark already. I'll try more time, then I'll go to bed. Hey. Hello. So, question. Oh no. Please don't ask for my address. I was gonna ask what your blood type was, but now I'm intrigued. Sorry, bad day today. Here, you can have my address instead, as a peace offering. Very funny. Oh, it's bro. Violet Heights, apartment 8, Constellation City. You. Me? You're my neighbor. Oh. Oh. You. That's my line. Oh, he did get it wrong. I see. And your apartment 10, not 8. That's why I keep getting the wrong mail. Oh no, God forbid you have to take 3 steps over here. You might damage more of my mail. Damage? You burst several of my blood bags. I wouldn't have kicked it if it hadn't been in front of my door. You kicked my mail? Maybe if I didn't have to fall over someone else's mail. Oh my god. It's so loud and it's so long. I'm fixing that immediately. She's been using it for evil. It needs to be fixed. Hello, my love. Are you... It doesn't sound loud for us, so it makes you feel... No, it needs to be equally loud for you. So earlier you missed it. We, had an amoeba fall in love with us. It was very tragic and, kind of yucky. 10 out of 10, do not recommend. He made weird little amoeba babies inside of me, and I didn't like. It was disturbing. Yeah. Yeah. Is it my fault you can't look where you're going? You're insufferable. Shit. No way your luck is that bad. You woke up before your alarm even went off. Honestly, you barely managed to sleep that night. Stupid neighbor, stupid magazine, stupid expert. You pouted, staring up at the ceiling. It's like the universe was conspiring to make you upset. This is all that ad's fault. This is all your neighbor's fault. Let's see. This is that ad's fault. If it hadn't appeared, you wouldn't have had your night ruined. Soon enough, your alarm interrupted your thoughts. After a shower, you grabbed an apple from the kitchen and ran out the door. Work was only a few blocks away. If you ran, you could make it in 10 minutes, which you always did, so you could sleep a little longer. Honestly, she's so dedicated because running to work could never. Could never. You pushed open the doors to the Space Cafe and were immediately hit by the aroma of freshly baked scones and donuts. Donuts. People were already chattering at the counter, and your coworkers had passed you carrying a coffee on a platter. Morning, Bliss. You waved at her and quickly headed to the back to put on your uniform. Right. Uniform policy was a little lax, so at least you had options. Yeah. You quickly got dressed. The day went by slowly as couple after couples came in for their weekend dates. You had to fight off the urge to roll your eyes. You smiled happily at yourself as you watched them. Let's not be bitter. You know, you couldn't help it. You were hopeless romantic through and through. Finally, you reached the last stretch of your shift. It was late afternoon, and though the chattering had not died down at all, you knew it would at least be someone else's problem soon. Looking up, you glanced over at the crowded cafe. There were quite a few interesting guests. A weird girl was sitting by herself at the table picking at her food. By the register, a fiendish woman and a fae. What does that mean, fiendish? Like, I know what fiendish means, but in this context, what the fuck does that mean? And a fae were playfully arguing over who would pay the bill. Meanwhile, an older couple were sitting by a window seriously bickering over desserts. By the door, a tiny golem was holding the door for another equally small golem. You watched as they stepped out, and yet another customer came in. Oh boy, we know who that's gonna be. He was a tall man with red eyes and pale blue hair. Wait, wasn't that your neighbor? Quickly escaped to the staff room, ducked behind the counter. Be professional about it. You looked down, straightening out your clothes, and then you put on your best customer service smile. He paused when he recognized you, but quickly returned to his normal smug demeanor. Well, isn't this a delightful coincidence? He was wearing bright pink sunglasses and a blue button-up. Ooh, I like the way his tattoo peeks out. Plastered on his face was an amused grin, showing off two very sharp fangs. Yeah, what a great coincidence, you smell right? Yeah, delightful, you say sarcastically. He seemed to enjoy your response quite a bit, giving an amused chuckle. He leaned on the counter, looking you up and down. Nice uniform. He smirked at you. Before you could respond or tell him off, he changed the subject. Can I get an espresso to go? You pulled out a cup and marker. Name? What about it? You blankly stared at him, not interested in whatever game this was. He chuckled again, seemingly enjoying your responses. Lennox. Just Knox is fine, though. Knox! Hee. But soon after you handed him his coffee, you lingered a while past the end of your shift so you could be sure not to run into him. You had lived in cramped apartments long enough to know that the worst thing in the world is getting caught in the elevator with someone you weren't thrilled to talk to. Fortunately, your apartment in Violet Heights was only on the second floor, so you rarely took the elevator anyways. Then again, being caught in the stairwell couldn't be much better. You made your way down the hallway to your door, thanking the stars that there was no one there. Why can't you even be happy for me? You let out an audible sigh. This again. Oh yes, I'm so happy that you decided to abandon me here while you go chase your dreams. You fiddled with your lock, cursing the landlord with every unsuccessful jiggle of your key. So I should just give up on everything so you can be happy? You were fine with that when I was the one leaving everything behind for you. Your door finally clicked open and you quickly stepped in. You quickly pulled off your shoes and tossed them haphazardly to an unoccupied corner. You should probably eat something before you unwind. Frege. More sticky notes. These are important for important contacts in grocery lists. Oh, we just have something in the microwave already? Oven. I don't think I've ever used this. It was a good thing you couldn't bake, or else the cafe might have put you on real early shift. That's hilarious. You found some leftovers inside and just heat them. That's concerning. It didn't take long for the microwave to ding, letting you know your meal was ready. How long had it been in the microwave? Are we okay? I'm in a DBD game, but I did want to yell about my ghost being gray. Yuck. That's sorry. You turned on your PC to do some browsing. Ding! A notification? Where is it screaming coming from? Right. Could you be less noisy? It's not from me, it's coming from apartment 7. Why would you assume it's me? Ugh, can they shut up? I'm gonna complain. They're just having a hard time right now. Oh, they don't ever stop. Good luck with that. So, Bliss. Yeah? Want to send me your address? You literally live across from me. Let me think about it. Aw. Actually, I wanted to ask what you're doing on the site. Are you judging me for being on a site we're both using? To be fair, he is a vampire, though. You first. Well, actually, I own the site. LOL. I forgot about it until recently. Wow, you had to make a whole site to find someone willing to put up with you? Maybe I just needed a snack. Fair. Valid. Anyway, I've told you why I'm here. Your turn. Okay, fair is fair. Well. The magazine told me to. What? I'm even more confused. My fave magazine said my ideal type would be a vampire. Then the pop-up appeared. That's very you. Don't judge me. I'm not, it's cute. Oh. Ellis is back. Gotta go. Later. The next day you wake up in a panic. You overslept and your alarm hadn't gone off. Well, that's what you thought. So you got to the kitchen and checked your work schedule. Turned out you had the day off. Once you had finished breakfast, you quickly showered and got dressed. Normally days off were for staying in PJs and lazing about, but you had to get groceries today. Ooh, that has a moon on it. You speed through your shopping, wanting to spend as little of your precious day off doing chores as possible. You glance over your basket of groceries. It seems like you had everything. You could probably stop by the snack aisle. You could get your neighbor something. Yeah, why not? You can do with something nice. No, you didn't want to make another detour. I mean, I guess we could get our neighbor a snack. Ooh, look at the little kitty over there. To make up for the blood bags, you meandered over to the snack aisle, browsing your options. What did vampires like? Coffee and blood? Fortunately, there were plenty of candies just for that. Bloody lips-based candies, Draco coffee, hard candy, plasma delights, blood-infused chocolate. You gotta go with the plasma delights, right? Quickly put it in your shopping basket. A laughing from behind you somewhere stopped in your tracks before you could leave the aisle. Your heart sped up as you slowly turned around. A few steps down from you, a woman with violet skin, red hair was laughing with a man. They acted like teenagers in love, although they were clearly much older than that. Normally this sort of thing would have you smiling to yourself and fantasizing about your prospective happily ever after. Fuck, I swear I could read. This scene, however, was doing the opposite for you in this moment. It suddenly felt like your future was bleak and hopeless. These people were not strangers. Well, one of them. The man, at least, was your ex-boyfriend. What the fuck? The woman was not the one he had cheated on you with. Old habits die hard, you supposed, as he and the woman whispered to each other. Grody, you quickly and quietly step away. You were frozen in place, unable to move, stunned. You sighed and left quickly before you could cause a scene. He deserved to be yelled at, but you felt bad for the store employees. You hated when people at the cafe yelled at each other and you had to get them to leave. The walk home felt longer than usual as your mind whirled with thoughts of the past. So many regrets, so many bad decisions. You quietly walked down the familiar hallway to your apartment. Something was different, though. Standing in the hallway were some of your neighbors, carrying boxes out of their apartment in silence. It was about time they went their separate ways. You knew all about holding on for way too long. This was the better outcome. You stepped into your apartment. Wait, we didn't give the candies. You barely closed the door behind you when you hear your computer beep from your room. Did you see the screaming neighbors are leaving? I was gonna go over there today, but they were already moving stuff out. I saw. What's up with you? Ran into my ex. I'm just having a bad day. Wait. You stared at your screen for a few minutes, but no new messages came. You wondered what he was up to, right as there was a knock on your door. I like the little heart. It was him. And he was shirtless yet again. It was very distracting. See something you like? Maybe. Here. He handed you something. A full tub of ice cream. It'll help. I know for a fact because it's enough to help Ellis and his issues. It'll definitely help you. Ellis being consoled by ice cream was a funny thought. Knox bringing you ice cream to help was perhaps even funnier. Thank you. Delighted to be of service. Oh, wait here for a second. You grabbed the candy you got for him at the store and quickly returned. You handed it over. It's meant to be an apology, but now I guess it's more of a thank you. Thank you. For admitting that you were wrong for kicking my mouth. I fell over it. Jeez. Okay, bye. And just like that, he turned and left before you could argue. You could only shake your head. The rest of your day off fortunately went by much better. There was no denying the ice cream definitely helped. Can you return? Thank you for the ice cream yesterday. No worries. Can't let my favorite neighbor suffer too much. Favorite neighbor? I would look at his V-line and tattoos. Be honest, I'm the only neighbor you know, aren't I? Details. So why are you crashing with Ellis anyway? Curious, are we? Just wondering what Ellis did wrong to deserve such punishment. I'm a delight to have around, actually. And so humble, too. I'm just taking a break. From? Work, life, family, all of it. What do you do for work normally? You seem like someone who would have family issues is crazy. That's such a fucked up thing to say. Why is that an option? Sorry to hear that. Don't get all soft on me now. This break has been very refreshing. Are you gonna leave soon? Trying to get rid of me? You're gonna hurt my feelings. Is that a yes? I don't know when I'm leaving yet. Anyway, I gotta go for now. Try not to miss me too much. Coming home from another long day, you were looking forward to a warm shower and snuggling into bed. You'd gotten yelled at by a rude customer who didn't understand how queues work. To make things worse, you had accidentally spilled coffee on yourself. Damn, poor baby. Now the day was finally at an end. Discarding your shoes randomly, you dragged your feet to the bathroom. Your hopes for the evening were unfortunately dashed, however, as you realized too late that you did not have hot water. Oh no. Damn. Cold and wet, more than a little annoyed, you got out of the shower, wrapping a towel around you and stomping to your computer. Do you have hot water? Hello to you too, Bliss. I'm good, thanks for asking. Next, I've had a long day and now I'm cold. Now is not the time. Right, sorry, but do you? I'll check. Water's fine for me. You having issues? You can come over and use the shower over here. I'm gonna call the landlord. Without even waiting for a reply, you dragged yourself to the kitchen. Brr, brr. You listen to the dial tone, impatiently tapping your foot. What? How rude. I'm in apartment 8. My water isn't working. You're here to drown outside. I'll try to get someone that within the week. What do you mean within the week? But what am I supposed to do until then? It's warm out and you're young. You'll be fine. What the fuck? Click. Unbelievable. So, he said I had to wait a while. Wow, this place is horrible. My offer stands. You can come shower over here. Really? I promise I won't bite. Fine, if you're sure. Certain. See you soon. I'm not taking a fucking cold shower. Sighing over what was bound to be an awkward encounter, you gathered your stuff. You were about to knock on Knox's door when he opened it. He's so cute. Look at his piercings. Why are you always shirtless? Thanks. You're distracted by the lack of a shirt. No problem. Nice outfit. You looked down and realized with horror that you were still just wearing your towel. You hooked your things to your chest, attempting to cover yourself more. That got a snicker out of Knox. Come on, unless you want to risk another neighbor seeing you like that. That was indeed a concern, though the way Knox said it made it clear he thought it would be funny. The inside of the apartment was not what you had expected. There were a lot of earthy tones. Nothing seemed to fully match anything else. Knox must have noticed you looking around because he laughed. Ellis has always had his own unique taste. It's charming in its own way. Speaking of Ellis, reminded you that you hadn't seen him in a while. That wasn't too strange, though. The few times you'd gotten to talk to him, he always seemed to be in a hurry somewhere. He always showed up again eventually. You wondered why he even had an apartment if he was never here. So where's the bathroom? You could guess the apartment layout looked to be the same, but it seemed rude to just go in without being shown. Knox raised an eyebrow. Now suddenly you want to be polite. You're such a... This way. He didn't even let you finish. The bathroom was indeed in the same place as yours. The tiles were a different color, though. Yours hadn't been replaced, so Ellis must have had his redone. Glancing down, there were a pair of fluffy bunny slippers. You raised an eyebrow at Knox, but he just grinned at you. Enjoy your shower, Bliss. And with that, he turned around and left. You had to admit a hot shower was worth the awkward situation. Once you were dressed and feeling fresh again, you made your way back into the living room. Knox was relaxing on the couch with a cup of what you assumed was coffee. He still had not put on a shirt. He smirked at you when you made eye contact. Enjoying the view? What if I am? He got up, approaching you. Then he leaned in, so close that you thought he was about to kiss you for a moment. I like the towel better on you. His voice was lower than usual, and for a second you got lost in the scent of him. He smelled like mint. It was not what you had expected. He chuckled, bringing you back down to reality. I'll walk you back to your apartment. I mean, I live right across the way. Like, he was deliberately being obnoxious again. Okay. You were in too much of a daze to really argue. After that, he dutifully led you back to your apartment. Knox. Yes, Bliss, may I help you with something? Got your mail again. I wonder how that happened. At this rate, he's doing it on purpose. Just to get me to get over there. Because what do you mean? Do try not to kick it. Bloodstains are so difficult to deal with. You're doing it on purpose now. Maybe I'm just looking for an excuse to see my favorite neighbor. You're just so cute when you're mad. Sounds like you want more of your mail destroyed. Hell yeah. Oh, I'll come get it in a bit. If you agree to come with me to the Saturn Festival next weekend. Oh. Sure. It's a date? Sure is. Before you even realized, time had passed, and now you were only a few days away from your date. You were nervous. Your first date in so long. You could feel your stomach tying itself into knots. You absentmindedly wiped the counter as you mulled over what you would wear. 2 celebratory caramel lattes to go, please. Alright, work. You grabbed the cups and your marker. Your name is? Clara. What's the occasion? You looked at better to smile and froze. Oh, is that the chick? Oh no. Not at work. She was definitely the woman you had seen with your ex. Are you okay? Something wrong? She seemed genuinely concerned. She must not have recognized you. I'm okay. She looked relieved, giving you another bright smile. Your order will be ready in a moment. You quickly stepped back to make the lattes, handing them off to Clara as casually as you could muster. She gave you a warm smile, placing the money for the lattes on the counter. You were over it. You were feeling bitter about how happy she seemed. Just wanted to keep it past. You just wanted the past to stop leaking into your life. You were over it. I mean, her ex was a scumbag. Whatever. You'd been caught off guard by her appearance, but you didn't feel much beyond that. You were moving on now. This wasn't your issue to worry about anymore. You made your way home slowly after that, determined to look around. I mean, what? Determined to look forward. Just fucking replacing words that don't make fucking sense. What the hell are you doing? Knox, it's 2 a.m. It's the best time to pack stuff. Why are you packing? Are you leaving? Bliss, are you saying you're gonna miss me? No. Don't sulk, I'm not going right now. It's still a little while. Where do you usually stay? Casupia... I know I'm saying that wrong. Hills. Ooh, fancy part of town. Boring part of town. Anyway, shouldn't you be sleeping? I was sleeping until you started loudly moving stuff. You need me to come over and help you sleep? I swear I'm gonna leave this chat right now. Oh no, how will I possibly contact you? It's not like you're right next door. Not for long, apparently. Finally, the day of your date had arrived. Nux was going to come by to get you in the late afternoon, so you had allowed yourself to sleep in. The Saturn Festival was really just an excuse to get drunk, usually. People would flood the streets, drink, eat, and wait for nightfall when you could see the stars more clearly. Oh, hell yeah, we're salty. On this one night every year, you could see the Saturn passing you by, accompanied by one of your moons. It was definitely a sight worth seeing, if you can manage the crowds. You didn't mind crowds, it was fine. It wasn't anything to worry about for you. Fortunately, the landlord had finally had your water fixed, so you could take as many warm showers as you wanted. Well, a reasonable amount. You still had to pay your water bill. Once you had taken a shower, it was time to settle on an outfit. You had narrowed down your choices the night before, so you just had to make up your mind. The purple is cute. I'm gonna go with the purple. With that settled, you decided to do some light sketching to pass the time. Before you knew it, there was a knock on your door. Make him wait a few seconds on purpose. Hey, how are you? How are you? Welcome back. Yeah, I played Parasite in Love. That was that was interesting. I was like, damn. There was literally no way to win. I mean, one way or another, I was dying, you know? Someone had to keep him on his toes. When the door was open, you could finally see him, except it wasn't Knox. Ellis? He smiled warmly. Lovely to see you again, Bliss. I don't mean to hold you up, I just want to come over and show face. Lennox is convinced people are going to think he murdered me or something. Honestly, I did kinda think he murdered him. So I'm stopping by to say I'm not dead. Well, I am dead, I'm a vampire, but you understand what I'm saying. I appreciate that. Thanks, Ellis. You were mildly annoying. You were mildly annoyed by the interruption. Fuck, I swear you can read. You were amused by the implication. Ellis is dead, but not like that. Noted. I got a hearty laugh out of him. Thanks, Bliss. Well, I'm off to tell the other neighbors the same thing. Ellis is kind of cute, too. Ellis is the person whose apartment Knox is staying at. So this isn't Knox's apartment. He's just staying there. Would be awfully annoying if a search party got started because of me. You just closed the door where there was another knock. Had Ellis forgot something? You opened the door again. It was actually Knox this time, looking as pleased with himself as ever. You could see him looking you up and down. You look beautiful. It caught you off guard for a second, then he handed you something. A deep maroon-colored rose. Suddenly now you're charming? He dramatically placed a hand on his chest. Oh, how you wound me. He straightened up back to his signature smug demeanor. I've been charming this whole time, actually. You laughed lightly while rolling your eyes. Let me just get this rose into some water. Sure, take your time. He leaned against your doorframe. It looks so empty. Then you just have the tiny little rose. You two had initially planned to get to the center of town, but quickly discovered that the streets were already packed. It was still an hour before it got fully dark. You looked up at the slowly darkening sky, excited for the night to come. Knox seemed pleased with your excitement. Let's grab a drink. I have some place I want to show you. You moved through the crowd very slowly, careful not to get separated. Knox extended a hand to... What the fuck? Can I read? Knox extended a hand to you to hold on to. You took it without hesitation. You wanted to take his hand, but you were too nervous. You shook your head. Without hesitation. You could make out the faintest smirk playing on his lips. He was clearly happy about this. At long last, you reached one of the many drink carts. It seemed to contain both alcoholic and non-alcoholic beverages. Hello, hello. What can I get for you? Knox looked toward you, gesturing for you to go first. You wanted something non-alcoholic. You went for something alcoholic. Sunlight spritzer, cherry pie cocktail, coffee cup. Sunlight spritzer. It was light enough on the alcohol that you caught in... What? Okay, so this time it's the fucking game and not me. I'm assuming it was light enough on the alcohol that you can enjoy it without worrying. After you had picked a drink, Knox went for a nice coffee. Knox passed you your drink. He had insisted on paying for both of you. I mean, as he should. This should be interesting. He eyed the alcoholic beverage you were holding. I'm not a lightweight. I didn't say anything, but it was clear he was thinking it. You two made your way through the crowd once more as the sky continued to inch towards the darkness above you. Knox led you through the crowd, not letting go of your hand for even a second. Finally, he opened the door to a building, and how the fuck did he open the door? Never mind. And just you in. You gave him a quizzical glance, but went with it. I want to jump. It's crazy. It had taken quite a bit to get there. You hadn't realized how long until Knox led you onto the roof of that building. The sky was finally dark, and sure enough, there it was, Saturn and a moon. So pretty. Pretty. Let me guess, he's not looking at the moon. Looking over, he had not taken his eyes off of you yet. You leaned over the edge slightly to see crowds of people below and millions of twinkling lights. When you looked up, I haven't seen this in so long. That's a surprise. You live so close by. Guess life always got in the way. Knox stared off into the sky for a moment. I get that. After a few moments of silence, Knox spoke again. I'm really glad about coming here, about meeting you. It was a little strange whenever Knox got serious like this. It wasn't like him. That made you eager to know what he would say next. Knox looked over at you, firmly fixing you in his gaze. I really do like you, Bliss. I can't stay with Ellis for much longer, but he took a deep breath. I want to keep seeing more of you, even after I leave. Your breath got caught in your throat. You understood the question. He was asking about dating. Not just a one-time date like today, but an indefinite type where you could expect to have him in your life for years to come. I also want to keep seeing you too. He nodded. Your heart was fluttering too much for you to form words. We could take things slowly. Let's go with this one. You meant it. Without even realizing it, Knox had become a large part of your life. Fuck Mary. With kids. It was strange now to imagine him not being there. Fuck again. He grinned at you, not breaking eye contact for a moment. You considered kissing him, but felt too nervous, leaned in to kiss him. Happily returned your gaze to the sky. Leaned in to kiss him, duh. Knox beat you to it, though. Hell yeah. He leaned forward at the same time as you, meeting you halfway. He placed a steady hand on your back as he pressed his lips against yours. He was obviously being careful to not accidentally nip you with his fangs. I mean, he could nip me a little bit. You weren't sure how long the kiss lasted in reality, but in your head it felt like it was over far too soon. When he pulled away, you could still feel the sensation of the kiss on your lips. The minty scent of him still lingered. After you returned home that night, you had spent a few hours just laying on your bed, staring up at the ceiling in a daze. You rushed through your shopping, grabbing the newest edition of Rogue and eagerly hurrying to check out. You pulled out the magazine and flipped through it as you walked back home. I mean, it was right about vampires being our ideal type, you know? Gotta give it its props. Normally, this level of eagerness was the result of your excitement to read your favorite magazine. Today, however, it was fully an attempt to distract yourself. When you got back to your apartment, you'd be seeing Knox off. He was leaving. He wouldn't be next door anymore. He kept reassuring you that you'd still see plenty of each other, but it wouldn't be the same. He promised he'd keep the tab with your chat open all the time so he'd know immediately if you messaged him. That had calmed you slightly. At least he'd finally have to get his mail redirected. No, our mans. You glanced over at the pages of Rogue magazine. Nothing was really holding your attention today, until you came across the horoscope section. You found yours in the same spot it always was. Seize the day. Don't leave anything unsaid. Don't leave any room for regret. Take the initiative. It was the final push you needed. You ran the rest of the way back home, your heart pounding in your ears as you went. Finally, you made it to your hallway. You should still have time before Knox left. Why do I keep calling him Nix all of a sudden? You knocked on the door, but no one answered. Your heart dropped. He wouldn't have left without a goodbye, right? You shook your head, trying hard to dispel the bad feelings. Bliss. The voice had come from behind you in the hallway rather than from beyond the door. You spun around to see him standing there, clearly confused. I was worried you had left already. I wouldn't do that. I was just at the store. You must have just missed each other. You suddenly... Well, obviously I'm gonna kiss him. With your heart pounding in your ears, you took a leap of faith. Knox seemed caught off guard for only a second as your lips collided. Then you felt his hand on the small of your back as he pulled you to him, deepening the kiss. It felt as though a million butterflies had spawned in your stomach as his fingers brushed over your lips. It was a kiss that felt as though it could last an eternity, and yet it ended far too soon. That was becoming a pattern, you realized. Careful, I bite, you know. I'm aware. There was a sultry tone to his voice. So, want to see my new apartment? You gave him a quizzical look. Isn't it like a 2-hour drive? So about that. He stuck his hand in his pocket and pulled out a key. Wouldn't you know, something opened up nearby? Before you could process what that meant, he walked over to apartment 7 and unlocked it. Ah! That's where the nosy neighbors had moved out. He smirked deviously at you. Looks like you're stuck with me. Is this so convenient? I don't have to change my mailing address. You mean my mailing address? You both laughed. It's close enough. That's cute. Aww. The end. We got our man. Hell yeah. That was super cute.